Hello, everybody. I can't do it like King. But what's up, everybody? I'm Safion, and I'm back with an exclusive interview with Xavier from the Heights on YouTube. Unfortunately, King can't be with us today, to spice stuff up. But he will be backstage and he will be present in spirit. So it's just gonna be me solo dolo for today. But I have Xavier with me, and I hope you guys like him.
Hi everyone.
Xavier,
Hey, what's up?
great. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Besides me being beat up and tired, but I'm still good regardless. What about you?
You still look good whether beat up, tired, drains, slapped up. It's good. Thank
I
you for
appreciate
taking
the
the
compliment.
time to come on here with me.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So let's get started. So who is Xavier? Who is Xavier Walker?
I know it's funny. People ask that question a lot, and I never know how to like actually answer the question. I would say I'm not just this country ass dude who came to America and tried to make something of it. I'm very cool, chill, laid back, very blunt. I don't do BS. I get annoyed easily when people come to me stupidity. But in reality, I'm just a cool, calm person. Once you just don't piss me off, as
Okay,
we
so
all
you
are.
said okay. I have low tolerance for a lot of things too. I'm just now having patience. So you mentioned that you're from the country. What country are you from?
So I'm born and raised from Jamaica. I moved from Jamaica 5 years ago to the United States, where I moved to Miami in obvious because everybody Jamaican is in Miami. I moved to Miami. It was just too slow for me. I spent like 4 months here, then just like went straight to New York.
And how was the shift from Miami to New York for you?
Honestly, it wasn't really crazy because at the end of the day, like with most people, like they learn how to adapt easily. And for me to adapt to like the New York scene, it was very easy. It's just only issue I had was like get around because back then my phone wasn't working. I couldn't use the GPS. So it's like besides navigating this like the transportation system, everything was okay. Like moving from Jamaica to different countries, like really, really good. Like you learn instantly. Like I think that sense kicked in automatically. I learned how to adapt and move along.
Okay, what's it like in Jamaica? What was it like growing up in Jamaica?
Honestly, I'd never had it easy to term like I literally grew up in like like a poor household to some extent. Like just my mom's side to be like not my mom's side, but my mom. Like my other side of the family they had like a change, but we don't count. So for me personally, like it was a bit difficult. Growing in poverty, so it's like I know what it is to be broke, I know what it is to go to bed hungry. I know all of those stuff. So for me personally, I didn't want to stay in that scenario. And then staying in Jamaica, like career wise, whether it's fashion or whatever, there was no opportunity there. So I had to take myself out of the equation, and then that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to make a move to America. Like I didn't have a dream of being a model here. I didn't have the typical American dream. It just for me is like just move out of Jamaica just for to change the scenery to see what can be a quote unquote a better life, and it worked.
Okay, okay. So you're a model and you're a creative director. So how did you come about that? What made you wanted to model and be a creative director?
The modeling come from high school first. My English teacher, she said to me one day, "Hey, go to Kingston and go audition," because I go to country school. She was like, "Go to the city and go audition and see what happened." I'm like, "Yeah, that's not going to happen." But long story short, I took her advice. I dragged my best friend with me. We both went. The agency that was there picked me to work with me. They brought me around like a few different people. So it's like I started networking with like the bigger heads in the fashion industry in Jamaica. And then after seeing that there's no money to really be making, like there's no money to be making there. Like there's no money to be making Jamaica like fashion wise. Commercial they can make money, but commercial there is like say 20,000 something Jamaican dollars like 200 US. So I'm like that can't work either. But that's how I got started. So I started there in Jamaica, and then actually got grew to love it.
Okay, okay. Because I actually grew a liking to model myself and other things. So when I watched you on the show and when they put your title, what you do, I'm like, oh, he's a model. And then I looked at your Instagram, I'm like, okay, he's official. I like that.
So yeah, I as I said, it wasn't like a dream of mine. It was just something I got into. Then it become a passion, and then the whole creative aspect come was like just like I don't know, Miss J Alexander, which is the runway extraordinaire. Just like how he was like on set, like in shows and like helping girls out to walk, I would be doing shows and like trying to help the girls like take a picture or whatever the case may be, and they're like, you need to do creative directing because you have an eye for whatever you're going for. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do it because I was just too scared of what people may think and all of the kerfuffle. So I'm like, you know what? Long story short, eventually I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a chance because if everybody stay in their head and say because of what people may think, they will not be where they are today.
Okay, I like that. So I have a
Yeah.
question. Since you're from Jamaica, have you ever met the dance hall reggae artist Spice?
I met Spice in person through my ex, because my ex is a TV person back in Jamaica. So I was able to go to one of her shows and I met her. I think I have an old picture with her. I was like super young. I have a picture with her backstage and everything. That was before y'all know who Spice was.
Oh,
So yeah.
I was gonna ask what's your favorite song by her, but
Oh, my favorite song by far is probably Jim Screecher is the old song. Like you probably like know the modern song nowadays, but that was like an old song. Like me in high school, she had like a song called Jim Squeegee. Basically saying the man is like when the man come to cheat, take the back door and come, so neighbors don't see you or the main piece may not come home and see your car park out front.
right. Speaking of reggae artists, are you a big reggae fan? Because I actually grew up on dancehall myself, but I'm more of a dancehall like late '90s, early 2000s, and then stops after. What was the last reggae song that was popping going into like Dutty Wine by Tony, whatever his name is? After that song came out, I stopped fucking with reggae after that because it just music just went downhill after that. So, are you familiar with like TOK? Are you familiar with Elephant Man? Um,
Yeah, I grew up on them. I grew up listening to TOK, Elephant Man, all of them. Honestly, which is not just dancehall music. All the music nowadays lead from what it was to a whole different aspect, which is about sex, 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 sex. So it's not just dancehall music in on a whole. But I have to say dancehall by far because at the end of the day, that's what I grew up to. That's just so dancehall for me every day, all day. And then you can throw like Beyonce and Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande and yeah, throw
oh,
them in there every
I
now
love Lady Gaga and Beyonce.
and then.
Okay, so
But
so you're on a show called The Heights. So how did that come about? How did that process go for you before? Like, how did you manage to get on there? Did they reach out to you? Did you see something on Instagram and signed up?
so I'm not a big reality TV person to be honest. I don't really watch reality TV because to me it's just too scripted and it defeats the purpose. But hey, it's entertaining. In reality, they approached me on Instagram and asked me, "Hey, would you be interested to do the show?" I'm like, "No, thank you, I'm good." I shut it down from the get go. And then they're like, "To be honest, it's not going to be a scripted show. It's going to be actually people doing what they say they're doing." So I'm like, "Okay, tell me more." And they mentioned, the whole rapper, designer, author, etc. I'm like, okay, so these are people actually working. So since these are actually people working, and is this about drama? Yes, it's going to be drama involved. But since it's going to be more of us working, then sure, I will give it a chance. But at the end of the day, it wasn't. I wasn't like pressed about doing it in the beginning because I was so hesitant. But in reality, I actually enjoy doing it. Like, it's a whole different life.
Okay. So in the first episode, we see you with I don't want to say his name right, Dalmain.
Yeah, Dolmain.
So how was that for you? Like, what was going through your mind, and how did you feel about meeting him and the conversation you guys had?
Well, as if you watch the show, there's a storyline about Dalmain and my ex. Not the ex that I met Spice through, with a different ex. Um, Dalmain, basically, try to make a move at the person I was talking to. So seeing him from all the time, it did bring back memories. Don't get me wrong, and I wanted to address it. But at the end of the day, I was on set working for somebody who booked me to direct her shoot. So I had to be professional. I'm like, hey, thanks for coming. I was able to invite people on set as part of the perks of doing a shoot with the client. So I invited him to come. I invite the video crew to come and do what they gotta do. And I I was talking to him, but my mind was not there because I'm like, I just don't want to talk to you. I just want to go back to what I'm doing. But I just do it and call it a day.
Okay, I didn't even know you said something about he used to deal with your ex or something.
No, he make an attempt to like you like somebody, you try to flirt, so
Oh,
he tried.
I don't remember seeing that on the show. I probably wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, as a whole, that's where the whole feud between me and Dalmain came from. He texted my partner sending photograph, but he declined. He denied sending photograph, but hey, the receipt is there, so it is what it is. It is a long time ago, so
Is that why
yeah.
you guys got into it on TTB?
Did we get into TTDB? And I
Wasn't it you
think
and
we
him
did.
going back and forth?
It wasn't me and Marco actually.
No, he got in. Someone had a very. You and him have a Jamaican descent accent.
We did go at it, but it was more me and Marco, less about me and I don't remember. But I think yeah, we did. Yeah, I think we did go in.
So
Yeah.
who was the one that said you can kiss my ass? Wasn't that him or was that
I,
you?
I don't remember. I don't remember. Maybe it was me, maybe it was him. I have no honestly I don't remember. I literally don't
No, I
remember.
laughed my ass off to whoever said that. I was just like, I laughed my ass off. I said, "There, I love y'all accent because it's just like." So when y'all said that, whichever one of y'all said that, I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay. So the next scene that we see you again, you're sitting down with Marco, and I believe that I forgot the gentleman's name. He's the actor.
Yeah, actor and rapper, that was Toddy.
Mm-hmm. So how
Yeah.
was that, and what was going through your mind? How did you feel about filming that scene?
Honestly, I didn't feel anywhere for about because I'm just meeting everybody. So I was just meeting Toddy meeting. Well, I met Toddy before, prior to going to the bar because I met him while he was doing his in studio recording, and then he decided let's meet up again, let's have drinks, let's talk. I'm like, okay, cool. And then that's when I met Marco before Marco became Marco Blaze. So Marco came as a
Oh,
regular person, Backstreet Boy looking type, as I called him. And then when I met Marco again, Marco come like with the yarn wig and I don't even know how to describe it. But me sitting down with them for that specific scene, it was an okay scene. It was great. I had no issue with that scene. And I was actually flirting with Marco, to be honest, because he was like to me then he was attracted until I saw him with the wig. Then that threw me
yeah.
off.
All you guys are handsome and attractive, you know. Speaking of Marco, in one of the episodes, you and him had did a project together where you guys were filming his music video, and there was a little bit of a back and forth. There was a little bit of a challenge on both ends. Um, it seemed to me like you took your work very, very serious. And from my point of view, I've seen that, you know, I get where Marco was coming from, where he felt like he was being a little bit, you know, disrespected. However, business wise, I looked at it and I'm just looking at it like, okay, Xavier's just doing that because that's his constructive criticism and this is his craft. This is his home. This is his field. So, what was going through your mind going through that process? How was that process for you? Did you enjoy it? Would you work with Marco again?
All right. So for that specific part, I would say honestly the viewers didn't really get to see what was really happening like that. So in reality, you will only see what production put out. So you may have a view about you get where Marco is coming from, or you get where me coming from. But in reality, not point, not saying I'm right and Marco is wrong, because he's right to some extent. Marco is wrong 100%. He's right maybe 2%, but he was wrong 97% if the math is correct. So this is how we go. As I mentioned, whether you're doing a photo shoot, a video shoot, or even a shoot in a movie, you have to have a mood board. So you have like a layer of what's going to happen, like the scene, that scene, the room, etc., etc., etc. Um, First of all, the shoot was a rush shoot. Let's
What was
begin
that?
there. Marcus shoot was a rush shoot because it's like he wanted to do it, but it wasn't planned properly. So when he approached me with it, I had to know basically rush and try to create a mood board for him to see based on what like he's telling me his vision and I'm creating as I go along on my computer. He approved everything for both music videos, not just one, for both music videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the day, he wants to change everything. For the first one, before he have the stylist and makeup artist, whatever, the first scene he styled himself. He showed me all the clothes he wanted brought, and I was like, okay, bring them all. We can always change and create looks. He arrived and said with half of what he showed me. That's a big no-no. That's number one. When he's performing, he was going off camera. So it's like when my hand is right here. Then when he
Mhm.
start performing or singing, he goes there. So I'm like, hey, Marco, well, let's cut it and let me show you something. You can't go here because if you go here, nobody's going to see you. You got to stay within the frame, at least right here. And this is your little box right here. So don't go too far from it. He was like, oh, you keep cutting me for that. I'm like, but if I don't cut you, you're going to see the room and show a part where you don't want to be seen in the music video. So it's like,
Correct.
honestly, it was more about me educating Marco on what to do and what not to do, and less about me shutting Marco down. Yes, he had ideas. Some of the ideas I did not shut it down. As he said, some of the ideas I was like, are you sure you want to do that? But if you really want to do that, let's do it. But if we don't have the time to do it, then we have to like move on to what we had originally. For example, the piano or the keyboard thingy. He wanted to go on top of it. He said I shut him down to go on top of it. I'm like, I never shut you down to go on top of the keyboard. I said to you, do you think it's sturdy enough to hold you? Because at the end of the day, I thought it was a prop, but it was actually a real keyboard. Um, but yeah, Marco, and then he was talking about the clothes. Like his wardrobe for the first show was very basic, and in reality, the clothes was really, literally dirty. Like Marco was wearing a shirt, something like say this color, and you could literally see the dirt in it. So I had to like try to create whatever and see what's what. Even when he was being nasty, as people could see, the way I was speaking because I have my braces in and I have the rubber bands in. So when I speak, I have to like I'm forcing to speak because each time I see the rubber
You
bands
seen?
like kind of like exactly. So he may think I was shouting at him. I was like, I'm not shouting at you. I was just trying for you to. I was just speaking clear enough so you can get what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, I have two different things in my mouth trying to speak to you clearly so you can hear what I'm saying. So he took it and run with it. So I'm like, okay, do your thing.
Mm-mm. Because when I was watching, I was just like, these two gotta have like a love hate relationship. Um, I looked at it like if it was me, I probably would have just did whatever Xavier told me to do because he's the director and I don't know what's going on. I know what's going on, but it's not like I can't see myself. So I get where he was saying where he wanted to have his own vision, but like I don't know if he has like a little bit of insecurities or if he just doesn't or if he was too nervous or something like that. But I was just thinking like, okay, he's a director. I would just follow him. And since you guys are kind of like friends, this is somebody you called to wanting to direct this. So it's like just let the man do his job.
The
You
thing
know.
is, Marker does have insecurities, especially for the second shoot, because one of his biggest thing was his body. He wanted to be a specific size and specific weight for the last shoot that the video got corrupted. Um, then he got to fit in with a stylist, of course, prior to the shoot. And then when he came on the day for the shoot, Marker gained weight, and then the clothes doesn't fit the way how it fit the last time he fit in it. So now
Mm.
he's blaming the stylist for that. I'm like, you can't blame the stylist for you gaining weight. This is all about you. You want to be a specific weight for the shoot, and you didn't come through on your word by going to the gym and do what you got to do to be snatched. Cause that's what you say you want to do. You want to be snatched. Long story short, he blamed the stylist for him not looking snatching the outfit. The stylist was very upset about that.
Was that
Then
the
the makeup.
scene where he was walking away saying that this doesn't fit and it's not? Is that the scene? He was walking away. Was like this doesn't fit.
I think so because yeah, that was a scene where he was like this doesn't fit good and yeah, so that exact scene. So he basically fit the before the shoot. I think probably like a week before the shoot, and everything fit perfectly. He called me. He was like, "I love everything. Oh my god, I'm so excited." Yada yada yada. Day of the shoot, Marco changed into a whole fucking diva, and then that's when it went left. So it's not that we weren't trying to create his vision. We were trying to create his vision that he basically gave informed me verbally, and I put it on pen and paper or on a computer, and he see the visual of it and he loved it. So now we're on shoot and said shooting your vision, you're finding issue with everybody and saying we fucked up your music video, we did this, we did that, but you're not taking blame for nothing that you did. And at the end of the
Mm.
day, I was trying to explain to him, yes, you are the client, but in front of the camera, you are not a talent. You understand? So the difference is once the camera is off, you can come down and speak to me as a client. But once the camera is on, you are the talent. So I have to direct you as you instructed me to. So if you don't want me to direct you, then what's the point? He was nice towards everybody. He was like, he cursed about why the makeup artist was there. He didn't want to dress him, could dress himself. associates about the makeup artist and stylist. So he was very nasty towards everybody. And then when the video got corrupted, he then called me to see if he can get the same person that he cursed out and say who did a fucked up job to come back and do the shoot. I'm like, that's not gonna happen. And according to him, if I did a horrible job as how he's saying, why would the videographer don't want to come back to you to do the job for you? That means you really pissed everybody off and said. Because the videographer told you, no, I'm not going to be here to shoot, I'm going out of town. Obviously, didn't want to work with you no more. So, what did you do that messed up that relationship between you and the videographer? Because it's not me, it's all on you.
So basically, what you're saying is, in short, that shoot was a very, 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 very long shoot than what they shown or
It was a
process.
yep, very long shoot. It was a headache for everybody. He said I was a drill sergeant. I don't mind me call a drill sergeant, but the thing is, everything I say, Marker, can you do? He was like, no, 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 no. So it's like everything I asked, I direct for him to like, try to make the video a bit spicy. He could not do nothing. So what you want me to do? Direct the music video and being it for you? Then what's the point of you being the artist? Because you can't do nothing. You can't move. You can't do nothing. So I was so confused. But then he go on TTB or wherever he went on and speak nothing but shit about me and the whole entire production. But guess what? We are still here making our money, and your music video is going to be found, and you're still not making money. So it is what it is.
Okay, so two things, because I'm inspiring model and I've done modeling pictures. Um, so hypothetically speaking, if I was to work with you or if I work with anybody, I would want them to tell me what to do. And I'm always telling my photographer, just let me know, tell me how to look, let me know if I look good, let me know where to pose, because I can't see myself. Even when if I had a mirror, I wouldn't bother to see myself because I don't like seeing myself. It's just like when I go into the recording studio and I sing, I don't want to hear myself sing. Just mix and master, and then I'll just send it over to me. I'll just leave. That's just me. But when it comes to me doing my pictures, I always tell my photographer, just make sure that please help me. If I'm not doing good, make me pose right. Make sure the lighting's good. Make sure my face is at a nice adjacent gesture. You know what I'm saying? So I understood where you were coming from. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's constructive criticism, but it's like, you got the best of the best, at least one of the best of the best. So that's what I
Thank
look
you.
at. So,
I said before, sorry to cut you. I said to Marco, you're coming up a cutthroat business, a very cutthroat business. We keep it
that's another
real.
thing I was gonna say. I was sitting like you sitting here talking about him. There's people that do his job and are so nasty. Xavier's not even being nasty. He's actually being nice. He's just very passionate. You both were very passionate. He was passionate and you were passionate. So when it came to head, it was just like sometimes it makes good, sometimes it don't. So
Just
I
let's work it
looked, I
out.
was like, especially in
Mm-hmm.
New York, Atlanta, LA, Dallas, you're going to get nasty people. And sometimes they may have you look a certain way just to play you.
Trust me.
So I get exactly where you're coming from. I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying from a point of view,
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
experience, I get what you were coming from.
I also said to Marco, I've worked with, I won't call no name because I don't want to burn my bridges because I still may work with them in the future. But I've worked on set with producers who were not nasty to the talent, but not, I won't say they were nasty, to be honest. They were just very blunt and cutthroat. And I respect that. They were like, it, it was a simple thing that the talent was doing, but the videographer was messing up. Our according to the director, the videographer was messing up. To me, it was okay, but I'm not the director for the shoot. And he got so upset when I said there was a tension on set. There was a tension on set, but guess what? Nobody care about your feelings. You're here to do a job. So even though I felt away, even though he was talking to me, the other models felt away, whatever the case may be, nobody cared. We pay you a lot of money to come here and do the specific job. So in order for me to make sure the job is done, I'm gonna be blunt and upfront. So if you don't like it, you just don't like it. And we have to do what we have to do. And trust me, that was a huge um learning moment for me right there.
A wake up call.
Yep, it was really
Yeah,
good.
because especially in New York City, they don't care. Especially in LA, they're really ruthless in LA. I feel that, like, Marco, if you had anybody, if you want to work with top-notch people, and I had to tell myself that going into this industry, whether it was with modeling or music or acting, you have to have tough skin. I've been through
I said,
so much. I'm just like, there's nothing you can say to me that's, I have feelings, but it's just like I know when business is business. You get what I'm saying?
yep. I said to him, I was like, Marco, you're coming in an industry where you have to have a thick skin. You understand? You're gonna hear a lot of no's. People like I trust me. I've been criticized about my skin and how I look, about everything. But guess what? They just do what they gotta do. Even though they're just being a bitch in reality. But guess what? That's what they are. Or that's who they are. Just gotta keep it moving. And I said to him, at the end of the day, you have the potential to make it big. Then you want both him and Toddy. And I keep saying this consistently. And I'm like, well, you and Toddy has the potential to make it big out of all of us here on the show because at the end of the day, you're doing music. Everybody listen to music. You understand? They may not know your name, but they sure will play that music. Not everybody know models, not everybody know who's an author, not everybody know who's a designer. So I'm like, you have the potential to really go far out of all of us here. But in order for you to do so, you have to learn how to take criticism and don't take it too personal and to feel like nobody's coming at you.
Right. Yeah, I was watching. I was like, Marco, if the way the shit that he pulled when y'all was doing y'all business, if he would have did that with somebody else, I'd been like, nah, get the fuck out. Don't matter if you paid me. Don't matter if you do. One thing about Hollywood is that they don't tell you you're fired. If you don't get a call back,
Trust me, because I also work at an agency, and one of the models I recommend to a designer during Fashion Week actually, the designer literally called me, Xavier, this model cannot walk. I'm like, wait, what? Like that's one thing as an agent you do not want to hear the client call you and say your model can't work. And the day of the show, please know it's the day of the show, probably like maybe 5 hours before the show, if not four. I had to get a replacement girl. So he was like, tell the girl, okay, you thank you for coming, but we can't use it. And this is a show day, and she had to just leave and was replaced by somebody else.
okay. So after all this stuff is done, and then in one of the scenes, it seems that you had messaged him and said that the files are missing. Were the
No, that
files?
wasn't me. That wasn't me. That was a videographer.
Oh, that was a videographer.
So Marco hired a videographer. Only person I recommend to him was a stylist and makeup artist. So in terms of location and the videographer, that was all Marco. So that was somebody he knew personally.
Oh, so that
Or
got nothing
assumed
to do with you. So
personally.
why would it make it seem like it was you? So, so the next scene that we
No,
see you in,
if you listen, he said Gazim. So I think the name was there in terms of if I don't know if like people really was like paying attention, but the name was there in terms of who was texting who. So that was the videographer telling Marco the file got corrupted. But in reality, people keep saying I don't think it was corrupted. Probably he just deleted and don't want to work with Marco because Marco is very nasty. So that's why I say where the karma comes in. I'm like karma is a bitch because the way you were unset towards everybody, um, the video is gone, and the guy don't want to work with you to reshoot it.
hmm so the next scene that we seen you was at Bronson's house party. What's your relationship like with Bronson?
So it moved prior to the show. I know nobody on the show besides Dalmain. I do not know any other castmates besides Dalmain prior to the show. Um, but with Bronson, I do like I like Bronson and Marcus. Why? Branson's a shady ass bitch, I must say, but I love it because he is real. Like he's very blunt, and that's how I am as well. So I guess because that's energy I receive from him, I like him even more. With Marcus, I like Marcus because Marcus is somebody you can literally sit down and have a heart to heart to like really learn something, like really learn something. So I like them both because for me personally, out of all cast members, all 6 of us, I find Marcus and Bronson the realest.
Okay.
But more
So,
Bron what more Marcus than Bronson. Bronson Marcus than me.
okay. So you were in a little group with Marco, and I forgot the gentleman's name. The author, I want to say. I'm just
Um
people by yeah, him. So it was you, him, and Marco, and Dalmain approaches you guys, and then Marco ends up getting into it with him, and then he throws a drink, and some of it got on you. What was going through your mind with all that, and how did you feel
so I
about
was really
Bronson
shocked.
kicking you out?
I was really, really stunned. Like I was super stunned. But people were saying like, did you not see when Dalmain backed up to grab the drink? But the thing is, the way how the camera was angled, Dalmain, the table was right there. So it's like he backed up significantly so we could see him grab the drink and then do like it was just right there. So in reality, we didn't pay attention like to what was happening because he was literally right there. He just was out of camera frame just for a microsecond. I was really stunned because prior to the show, I told production, I don't want to do none of that shit. I don't want no drink to be thrown at me. I'm not going to be fighting anybody. That's not me. That's not my brand. And in reality, so far, I'm the only one on the show who's ahead of the game. Taddy is right there coming up as well. So therefore, because of that, I don't want you guys to ruin my reputation. So when that happened, I was super stunned because that's what I asked not to like I didn't want. I was really really pissed at the end of the day, like super pissed. But because I was invited to somebody's home and I know I have respect, I decided to just keep myself cool and calm and just get out of there.
Okay, okay. The next scene that we see you guys meet up at this bar setting, and then you
The break,
guys are at a smashing event, I want to call it.
yeah, it's called a break bar. It
Break
was a
bar.
break.
I've never been to a break bar before. So you
That
guys
was
are
my
in there
first
break,
time.
huh?
That was my first time actually.
Mm. So you guys are in the break bar, and then you guys are in the back breaking stuff, and then Dalmain shows up, and then him and Marco get into it, and then he leaves, and he goes talks to the other cast members. While he's doing that, you and Marco are in the room breaking stuff with Dalmain's face on the dummies. So then Dalmain stops what he's doing because Bronson went and told him. He goes back there, and then he's antagonizing Marco, and then he snatches his wig off, and then they get into this little scuffle. Um, why would you guys use his face? And what was going through your mind when they started scuffling? And was it real or was
I
it fake?
had nothing. It was fake. No, sorry, it was real. The fake part was people think I was a part of the whole picture thing. That was a fake. I was not a part of that. I had no idea with that. But everything else was real. Um, the real part is Marco got the images from wherever he got the images, whether he printed at Staples, his house, because he's still not clear where he printed the images according to him. Um, Marco came in the image. I'm like, so when he whipped it out, I was like, where the fuck you got this from? That was not even shown in the show. So that was very surprising to me. So people think me and Marco planned it. Like that part, well, it didn't come off that way, but I guess that's how the viewers saw it. But that part is not real. I didn't plan anything. Like I was surprised as everybody else. Um, but the Marco and Dalmain kerfuffle that was real, because at one point Dalmain, like I think he tried me for a microsecond, but I literally turned and smashed the other dummy. And I guess because I turned away and smashed at the dummy, he went directly to Marco because Marco was giving the energy that he wanted. Because I didn't have time for it. I was smashing stuff. I don't care if it's your face on there, my face on there, or whatever. I'm smashing stuff. I'm there to relieve stress. And if you are part of my stress, I'm going to smash your face in a dummy.
Mm-mm-mm. So they scuffle, whatever, and then they break it up, and then Marco is screaming he needs to leave. And then it seemed like you were the only one kind of on his side and was agreeing with him, like, okay, Dalmain didn't need to do that, he needs to leave. Why do you think the others were kind of just blaming Marco and saying that Marco should leave? Because I was a little confused. Like, did we miss something?
I think they're saying because Marco brought the images, um, he was trying to cause problem, so he needs to leave. Because our discussion was what if Dalmain, well, Dalmain wasn't supposed to be there in reality, and that's the honest truth. He wasn't supposed to be there. Yes, he was invited, but he declined the invitation. So in reality, it was going to be me, Marco Branson, and Marcus, and Taddy and Dalmain. Sorry, declined the invitation. So whether Dalmain see it live when Marco's doing it or after the show is aired, it is whatever. Um, but they wanted Marco to leave because they're like, you brought the images here, you were causing problem. Yes, Bronson snitch, but they're not looking at it in that manner. They're like, Marco brought the image, so Marco got to go. I'm like, what does Marco got to go? Like, Marco was invited to be here. Yes, Dalmain was invited to be here, but he declined, so therefore the invitation was revoked. So therefore, in reality, he wasn't invited to be there. So I was on Marco's side to some extent, but people was like, "Why didn't I defend Marco?" I'm not defending nobody. I ain't defending nobody. You didn't come towards me with that energy trying to fight me, and I don't want. But I don't want anybody to defend me. I can fight my own battles. So if Marco has a big mouth, So because you have a big mouth, learn to back up yourself. You see, if you didn't have a big mouth, I would have probably tried to defend him. But because you have a big mouth, then back up your talk. I'm Caribbean. If you're gonna speak big, please back it up.
So did you ever get on the other cast members like why are you guys kicking him out like or why are you guys not using the energy for both parties because they both were at fault?
Like at one point, we did spoke about that, but I said production put or what was I guess what was best for production. But yeah, we did spoke about that and everything, and honestly, they didn't want to really to answer me as well. So at one point, I left without I just left because the energy just shifted, and I'm like, I don't want to be here no more. So at one point, I just left as well.
Okay. So I forgot his name again. I'm sorry. The
Dalme.
act No, not Domain, the actor. The one that
So
acts
yeah. Oh, Marcus.
Marcus, that's his name. So you were at his movie premiere, right?
No. Oh, so no, that's Toddy. So you're mixing them up. So that was Toddy, and it was a music. It wasn't a movie premiere. It was I think a EP part of its EP album thingy. I don't know how music goes to be honest, so I don't want to say, but that was for Toddy. So I was not there. I was out of town. So that was Toddy's event.
Were you invited?
I was invited, but in reality, as I said, this is what the downfall of me being on the show is the fact that most time when I'm working like my actual job, whether it's Target or Michael Kors or whatever, I can't bring production with me. So they can't really see me working my actual model job because in reality I'm not at that level where I can bring camera crew with me. I'm not at that level where I can invite people. So because of that, like you guys don't get to see me actual you guys see me working, yes, but you guys don't actually see me working. But I was invited to most of the events that they had that I'm not there, I was invited to, but I was just not there because I was out of town.
Okay, okay. So on the show, it wasn't that many episodes that were aired. I think we're on episode 6 or 7.
Seven.
Yeah, and I think the last episode, which is going to be this Thursday, is going to be the season finale. Now, I've seen that you guys recently just had a reunion.
Yeah.
Now, how was that? You don't have to say anything because I know you signed stuff, but
Yeah.
you don't have to go into
Honestly,
detail. I don't want you to get in trouble, but like, was it good? Was it bad? Was it like I just wish I didn't show up?
honestly, it's a really good reunion. It was a really good reunion. Stuff happened. A lot of people may say, other people may say about somebody like, oh, this person really did that. Um, but eventually, the person that did whatever they did, just had it up to here, and they had to like just spaz the fuck out. It was a really great reunion. I can't wait for you guys to see it next week. Um, I think they have to probably put in a two-part. I don't think they can do everything in one part. They may have to break it up in two-part because it was a really good shoot.
So, in your words, somebody got their ass whooped.
Almost got their ass whooped, or did got their ass whooped, or maybe got their ass whooped. I don't know if they got their ass whooped, but something did happen.
I mean, listen, these reunions don't even got security, so that almost shit gotta go. If you really gonna hit somebody. I'm so sick of these. I'm so sick of these boys.
I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't staged though. Honestly, the whole reunion, I must say this from the jump, there was no scene that was staged. Yes, the producers wanted to have a stage scene, but in reality, nobody was with it. Everything that happened on set was literally natural
I like
because
that.
the people had whatever they had up to here, and they just started letting shit out.
I'm not gonna hold you. I thought some of the stuff was fake. Like I thought some
And
of the
honestly,
fighting was made up because you guys are very mature for your you guys' cast. You guys have all of you are very mature, even though it doesn't matter who's complaining about who. But it's just like you guys are one of the most mature casts. So I don't know if the producers were like, did the producers ever tell you to like, can you step it up? Can you like say
yeah,
this? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I know that you can't talk about the future for right now, but if they've done that in the past, you don't have to speak on it if you're not comfortable,
yeah.
but you don't have to say no names. But if you want to feel comfortable sharing, can you give us
This
like type of
here, this I can share because is no issue. I must say, um, the people who didn't fight. on the show are people who have their shit together. You can see who didn't really had a fight. The two that fight, as I said, it was not staged, but those are person who want the attention. So the ones who don't really care much for the attention and just doing the show because they want to do the show didn't fight. But the ones who did fight or did be dramatic are the cloud chasers. So even a person did not tell them to do what they did, including that water throw thing, like that was, trust me, that was not staged. People think it was not staged. So people who did what they did do it for the cloud. But people who did not care for the cloud just keep it working. They have their kerfuffle, yes, but keep it pushing.
All y'all asses is crazy. I'm just playing. Y'all not crazy. I'm just playing.
It's okay. It's
So
not. I won't take
I
that personal.
can't wait to see the season finale. I can't wait to see the reunion. I kind of wish you guys got a longer season, but I understand it's the first trial. And by the way, you guys actually did great for your first time. Great quality, very mature, like I said. Everything's put together. The
Yeah.
photos, everyone's photos came out so good.
I know. I
Everyone,
hated mine. Yes,
skin
I hate.
tone. I
I
like
hate.
yours. You have very beautiful skin tone.
I hate. And
You
those
all
images
you
were
have
edited.
the most beautiful skin tone.
I didn't say I appreciate compliment, but it's like you're your biggest critique, and the image was not even edited. Like in terms of like, not saying production did not want to edit it, but as I said, it was a trial thing that they were doing, and I hated all the images that I had. And the good one that I had, they were like, "Oh, we can't use it." So I was pissed about that because I'm like, as the model on the show, I have to always put my best face forward. So not saying they can outstage me. You can always outstage me. I don't care because you ain't paying my bills. But at the end of the day, if you're gonna put my image out there, please put a good image that really represent what I'm about.
Okay. So, would you ever do reality TV again?
There's one in the works which is a part of Netflix, but it's not a super reality that people may think it is. More of a dating show. So there's a huge show coming up on Netflix. Did I make? Can I? Yeah, I can mention the name. It's called Love Is Blurred. But I can't say too much about the show.
Okay, Netflix. I'm can't wait to see that. Are you familiar with the other web reality shows? Like as of now, have you
No,
ever
I'm learning
chased
about
in
them.
reality? Have you ever watched it come up? Atlanta, Chasing LA, G
No
Status,
shade.
ATL.
No
Okay.
shade.
Have you
Um,
worked?
as I said, I'm not a big reality person. So prior to doing this show, I'm just learning about all these other, like with you doing interviews that people do interview our show. I'm learning about all these other shows. Have I watched it? No, like skipped through certain scenes of, I think is to come up Atlanta. I skipped out a few scenes because there was a cute guy on there, the one that does this like does hair. I was like, oh, he cute. So let me see what's going on. But
Wait, who?
besides that,
What
I
show?
forgot it was that thing is to come up Atlanta.
The
There was
come
a
up
guy.
Atlanta. And who are you talking about?
It
Because
was
I
like a
can point
cute
them out.
short guy there. I don't remember his name. It was very cute and short. But he does hair. Like he
I
buys
think you're talking about
wigs.
Milan.
Yeah, that's his name. So he buy wigs
Milan.
and sell wigs. I'm like, oh, he's cute. So like I went on the show to look at it because of him, but I like skipped through it. But I haven't like watched it.
Milan.
That sounds
Um,
shady, yo.
no, I like Milan. Have you ever worked with anybody from the web reality shows knowing after? So have you ever
No,
worked with somebody that came from a web reality show that you didn't know but you found out after? Like, oh,
I did, but it wasn't a web reality TV show. I walked on Fashion Week with this girl from Love and Hip Hop. I forgot her name. Aria from Love and Hip Hop Miami. Isn't it Ariana? It's not Ariana. Is that the
no, I think
black?
we talking about our Amada La Negra.
Yeah, yeah, her. So I did Fashion Week with her. I had no
Oh,
idea who she was, like dead ass.
tell us more.
It
What
was
happened with that?
that was like
How was working with her?
it was fun. She was very nice. So this is the thing. It was hot as hell backstage, and she had like those big diva fans, and she was fanning herself. So I'm like, girl, can you share the breeze or something? And she was like, no, papi, I got you. And she was like fanning me and then fanning herself. Then my friend across the room opened his more like. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But after that, she left because she got to go walk, and my designer was after her designer. So then my friend came to up to me and said, "Do you know who the hell that was?" I'm like, "One of the models for the show, but she's very pretty." She was like, "No, she's not just a model. She is a London Love and Hip Hop Miami." And then that's why I went to Instagram and I realized who she was. I'm like, "Oh shit, I had no idea." But I'm not a starstruck person, to be honest. Like at the end of the day, I've been around celebrities such as like Tiana Taylor, Bella Hadid, Wale, all of these people, and I'm not really. They're not looking for people to like, "Oh my God, Tiana Taylor." They just want you to just treat them like, "Oh, we're talking right now. That's regular, normal people."
You know, I've been around celebrities too. I've been around when they would do concerts, but I didn't work with them. But meeting them, taking pictures. I've been around Genuine, I've been around Maya, I've been around Angela from Bad Girls Club, Christina from
Mm-hmm.
Bad Girls Club. So I've had my fair share. I'm not really stars don't move me. Like I'm humble, but it's like stars don't really move me. You get what I'm saying? So, um, but you worked with Tiana Taylor. You just seen her in passing.
So I work with her. I did a music video for Wale, which was when one time I had to come back to Miami. I'm always in Miami for some reason. So I flew down here to do a music video with Wale. Actually, it was
Look at
Wale,
that,
and
and you didn't mention that on the show. Why did you mention this?
at the end, I'm a very humble person. I'm just like very grateful for everything that's been happening for me. I'm not gonna use people say I use my I guess my resume and put it in others' face. Like I never done that. I always trying to educate all of these people on the show. So I've done a music video for Wale and Bryson, I think his name is, and B Simone was
Bryson
a
Tiller.
part of, yeah, Bryson Taylor. B Simone was Bryson Taylor's girlfriend in the music video, and Tiana Taylor was the director for the shoot, and it was a fun like she was awesome. Her directing skills. If she direct Marco music video, Marco would be dead because at one point, like she wanted to get the girl like upset and pissed, and she would. Oh, I love her. I love her. Like she was phenomenal. She was really really awesome.
Well, let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with showing your work and your resume. Now, there's some people on these shows that slur their work with this person and work with that person and and the credits is in the IBM, and then you look and you don't see them. Some of these dudes think they're holier than thou, trying to prove something. But you, I can say, if you were to, I don't think that you would have dragged it in the sense. It's just my slang. I don't think you would have dragged it to a point where it's like, okay, you're being cocky.
Yeah.
Seeing your work and seeing what you did on the show just says a lot. And I'm like, it's something about him. He's real professional, and I would work with him in the future. You know, so um, and I believe you when you said that. And it's crazy because it's just like, people think that when you go on these web reality shows, they feel like, oh, they're just trying to start from the bottom up. They're nobodies. They're not getting paid to do this and the third. Y'all can say that, but there's a lot of us who are on these shows that have worked and is still today working with celebrity. Like our guy from G Step, for example, he's been working with Mama D ever since. He never really boasted about that, you know. And Charlie XI, he's been with certain celebrities. Official King Payne, he's been with certain celebrities. Andre, he's been with certain celebrities. Sky Valentine, he's good friends with Monique. These are people that don't have to, well, some of them don't have to boast about, you know, who they work with and what they do, and I've met and I've worked with some of the most humbling people who they've shared some things with me. King's one of them. So, yeah, so it's really interesting, and as I started seeing and like diving deeper into the web reality world, it was just like, wow, it's a lot of people that's really working with celebrities and don't really say as much, you know.
I always say to people, you don't do the talking. Let your work speak for you. I remember
Right.
when the first one of the reviews. I don't remember the name of the guys that did a review. They were like, "Oh, he said he's a model." I'm like, I didn't say I was a model. I I am a model, but I didn't. You know, no part of the show you hear me say, "Oh, I am a model" or whatever the case may be. I may say maybe, but not other ill or other like shade. But I said to people, if you think I'm lying, there's a website called models.com. For you to be on that website is not a walk in the park. You have to have a resume to be on that specific website because there's only who is on that website, from models, makeup artists, directors, designers. It's a huge platform for the entertainment industry. And when I first worked with Michael Kor and he gave me my credit, I was stamped as a literally, I got approved, like the seal of approval as a model. So that link in my bio that says models.com, when people go to that link, they see that verification tick. That means you are very legit a model by basically say God himself. So it's like, yeah.
That's interesting. You said you mentioned something about resumes. Could you help people with portfolios? Do you help people with portfolios?
I do have a portfolio, but the thing is, I'm only sticking it because besides me being a model, I'm also in a business. So when I do stuff, I'm doing it from a business perspective, not because I'm a model or because I've done this before, because I'm actually doing it for other people. So besides me booking job for myself, I'm getting other people booked for jobs. So if I submit you for a job and submit myself for a job and they don't book me, but you got booked, guess what? I'm still getting paid because 20% of your money is my commission. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win for both. So, but in reality, when it comes down to portfolio and like models, I always give them. I was like, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to go mimic, like a H&M campaign, a Zara campaign, or Macy's campaign. Mimic those things and build your portfolio. Your portfolio should have A, B, C, and D in it. And then when that is done, come back to me. If you want to book me to direct the show, then it's a different story. But I can give you the word of like just like how people like educate me, I can educate people as well. There's nothing wrong with information. And I will tell you exactly what to do. If you don't believe me, go on here, go check it out for yourself, and this is what you need to get done. And then once that's done, and we as an agent feel like you have a specific look that a client may like, then we'll work with you. If we don't, and then when people say no, don't take it personal. Because my current agency, which is EMG Models, before I got signed to them, they told me no twice. They told me no twice. And I changed my image, I changed my portfolio, and I went back and like and right as I went back, they signed me exclusively that day. Meaning no other agency can touch me. I'm all theirs.
You think you can help a rookie?
As I said, I'm always giving advice. You DM me and I tell you exactly what to do. So this is what I normally do. Whenever a model DM me and say to me, even if I follow them, I don't follow them back, I still watch them. If a model DM me and they say to me, hey, can you give me some advice? I always send a voice note or send. I don't like sending text when you're giving advice because I want the text can be mixed message.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I prefer video conferences.
So I would send a voice and I say, okay, do A, B, C, and D, and I will watch the model to see if he or she is doing it. If that model don't do it within say a 3 to 4 months time frame, there's nothing being done, then don't come back to me. Okay, you're wasting my time and you're wasting yours.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you're gonna
but
come to me and ask me the same question. I'm gonna give the same answer I gave you 3 4 months ago.
hmm yeah, cause I actually, I mean, I told you in the beginning I'm model, so when I told you when I seen your profile, I'm just like, I want to see if he knows something. I want to see what his critiques can help with me. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So
I always tell people just get yourself ready because you're in an industry where everybody wants your spot. Everybody, it doesn't matter if you have a big spot or a small spot. Everybody want your spot.
mm-hmm.
You could just come, for example, and you do like say for let's say you do Mark Jacob campaign and you're just jumping in. I want that spot because guess what? Even though I'm ahead of you regardless, I want your spot because I want to do a Mark Jacob campaign too. So everybody's coming for your spot. It doesn't matter if it's a big spot, small spot, or in between spot. They all want it. So just be mindful. Your friend, that word, never use it loosely. Screen everybody who you let into your circle, whether it's personal or business.
Let me tell you something. I'll always separate business from personal. I don't throw the
But
word friend.
screen the friend. Don't call everybody friend. Oh, he's my friend. No, you're not my friend. I tell someone that before they take it personal. I'm like, take it personal all you want. We are not friends. We're associates. My friends and I have history. You understand? I don't have no history with you.
Right.
So yeah.
So I want to bring up a person who's actually one of my idols. She came from a girl group and she has her own modeling. I don't know if you know who I'm gonna bring up next. Um Victoria Beckham.
Hey,
How do
who
you
doesn't
feel
know
about her?
Victoria Beckham?
You said what?
Who doesn't know Victoria Beckham? Give me one sec. Sorry about that. Sorry, my friend was asking me something.
No, it's fine. But I love. Oh,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, because I had my friend car. Because I'm in Miami, so I had my friend car. He was like, "Go pick him up from work." I'm like, "You can go pick him up. I'll see him later."
it's fine. But I love Victoria Beckham. Even she's the reason why I will listen to the Spice Girls. The others are fine, but I'm mostly interested in her. I love her passion for fashion. I love her clothes. I follow her on Instagram. I love her music, even though it's old. Um, she's my idol, besides Janet Jackson, Beyonce, Aaliyah, yeah, she's someone that I look up to in the fashion industry, and I see a lot of her, clothes that she models and stuff. Would you get a chance? Would you work with Victoria Beckham? And have you ever had a close chance of being in the same room with her to work with her?
No, I've never met her. To be honestly, I know of the name. I, th- I didn't. She's very popular. She's very famous. Don't get me wrong, but I don't really know her like that. That's honest to God truth. Um, if you speak about Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks, those people I do know. You understand? Because they're very, very, very popular. But I've never worked with um what's it Miss Beckham before. I never met her, nothing like that. I never met Naomi, but from my the person who I look for as is because of how she is. She's very blunt. She's very cutthroat. People call her a bitch, but she's not a bitch. She's just keeping it 100% real.
Um, you've worked with Tyra Banks before?
No, no, I never worked at Banks before. I would just call the names because these are people I would know more
Oh,
compared to Beckham. Yeah,
okay.
the only person I met and they gave me some great advice was Miss J and also Mr. J. I've met both J's. I met both
Hold
J's
on.
at a fashion show. They were very, very, very cool.
Have you ever been to a chance to be in New York Fashion Week?
I, you just see it when on my Instagram. I've been doing your fashion week.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
just skimmed some, and I was looking at the ones that I was just like, I didn't stay on too long, but I was just like, okay. I was like,
yeah.
okay, now
But
reach out to
I've
him.
done fashion. Before. It's really good. I've done fashion before. I have models who work fashion week as well. Um, I've never worked for one of the major brands just yet because they intend to use their regular people. So it's hard for the newbies to like really get like to come in, but we do get a shot to like go still see the client. For example, say Christian Siriano, like I'll always go see Christian Siriano. I've been to Marc Jacob casting before, but I never got booked.
Oh, Marc Jacobs. Mm.
So I've been in a room with these people
Okay.
by just walking for them or them seeing me or just looking at my information, but I've never actually worked with them. The only big brand I worked with before was well, I work at a big brand, but the major brand is like um Michael Kors.
Okay, Michael Kors. I always wanted a little bag from Michael Kors.
I got a sweater. It was good.
It's they got the chain. It's the chain, and then it drags. I want one of those. Might get one for Christmas or just if I felt like
And
it.
he
And
was on set. He's a very well, I don't know him personally, but based on what I've seen by just being on set with him, he was a very great person. And Bella Hadid was there as well because that's his main girl. So it was a fun shoot.
now Marc Jacobs, his husband is best friends with Little Kim, if I'm not correct. Correct?
Yeah, because I saw that Girl Cruise. I saw that show, and he was
So
on there.
see, so you know where I'm going with this. So you know where I'm going with this. Because you said Marc Jacobs, I'm like Marc Jacobs. I know who Marc Jacobs is, but I remember one of Little Kim's friends is his husband now. So back to the web reality real quick.
Mhm.
Um if you were called to do an all-star season, all the other webcasts, maybe 9 or 10 of them, would you do it? Like from different web shows, like the other shows, not just your cast.
I was like, it all depends because honestly, I'm not. People love to see drama. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not for. I can't be bothered with drama. Like I know that is entertaining. People want to see it, but then at the end of the day, it can also make or break you. You understand? So I have to like not just me, but most people who has a brand and who's working to push their brand, whether it's modeling, dancing, singing, acting, or even cosmetics, etc. They have to be mindful how they represent their brand, because how you see my brand is how you will see me, even though that's not me. But because that's the image that was put out, that's how you will see me. So I'm not against it, but it has to be certain terms, and certain terms that I will not do certain stuff.
So I guess that means no retreat then.
No, I
Um,
don't think that, well, if you're gonna fight in a retreat, they ain't going to be at the retreat.
no, the
When you
retreat
can
is
fight, it's not with me.
the retreat is actually hosted by Reese G and is now working with Quran Productions or Gemini Films. It was on Chase Reality, but it moved to Gemini Films. The retreat is about it's like an all-star kind of season, but it's more so of trying to um work out their own personal issues within themselves, not each other, themselves first, and try to find like when you go away for a retreat to get some peace and block out all the negative energy, you're meditating in your zen type of with a candle in front of you. That's the type of thing. Of course there's a little bit of drama, but it's mostly surrounded about your own mental health and stuff like that. So that's when I said
That's
about the retreat.
that's not a bad idea. But as I said, I like to see drama, which we all do, but not with me in there. You can have your drama with you and anybody else. I can watch you and laugh and kiki kaka, but those don't bring it to me, because I know I have, like, most people have anger issues. I have serious anger issues. Like, being in this country, it teaches me to control my anger issue, like dead ass. So I know for sure if you come at me, I'm gonna fight you to fight. I'm gonna fight you to kill you, and that's honest to God truth. So because I know I have a serious anger problem, which is under control to some extent, but when your blood is boiled and you pissed as hell, like, you just want to go at it. Once somebody come at me, I'm good. But I would definitely do that, because we all have personal shit we need to work out. We all have our demons that we're fighting. So that's not a bad idea. Richard sounds good.
That's exactly how I am. Like I'll watch drama, and it's certain the drama now is just like all put together, staged, and very unnecessary. The drama back then, like 10, 15 years ago, I would take. Now it's just like, but I can't be in the drama because they like to sit here and read and be like the housewives. I was more of a bad girls club, mob wives type of grown up. So if we not gonna fight, then there's no point in talking. I don't like to put my hands on people. It's not good. And we're all getting older, and it's just like we all want to do things, and that's another thing. A lot of these boys get on these shows and they want to do things. They want to do this. They want to do that. But then you guys are showing toxic behavior. And I understand the producers are to blame for 90% of it because editing is you know, it plays
Yeah.
a role in it, and then alcohol and all that stuff. But I always tell some people, even when I have these interviews with some of y'all, only you can control you. You're grown. You know that you can't have alcohol and you're going crazy over it. If I was placed in a group scene right now with random people that I don't know, you think I'm gonna drink alcohol the first thing and just no, especially when everybody else is drinking. I'm more of a person where I don't drink alcohol, by the way. Only on special
Hmm.
occasions, like for example, uh a event. Like Fashion Week is a little bit of a more, like okay, I'll have one glass of champagne and that's it. I'll just stick with water. I don't drink just to drink. So like if I was put in a group scene, I'm not going to, act an ass for camera because you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching.
You said what I always say to production. Like, that's something I preach consistently. You don't know who is watching. To you, it may be regular people, but a regular person may know somebody who is in higher power. I'm like, hey, have you seen this show? Boom. You never know who is who. You don't know. Like, I always walk in a room, like, honestly, I walk in a room and I look at everybody equally. It doesn't matter if you are a celebrity, you are the janitor, or like, you're all equal to me. So it's like, I'm not gonna come out because I'm better than you. But if I'm in a room full of gays and they're shady, I'm gonna be fucking shady too. Because you ain't gonna be better than me, because at the end of the day, you bleed red, I bleed red. But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Right. Yeah. You see, we think alike. That's the good part. But I'm glad that I had this conversation because it's like, I always want to remind people, like, you never know who's watching, and I hope productions with these web reality shows, they also they're up for grabs too, because when you have a celebrity who watches these shows and wants to work with some of y'all, because most of y'all are really really good people to work with. You're one of them. King's one of them. A lot of other people on some other shows and one of them. So it's like, when they want to take people from these shows and they're like, because I don't like that scene. And then they're like, well, who's this produced by? Then they'll look up the producer. And then when we get to the reunion or interviews, like how we're having now, when I let you guys come up here and explain yourselves raw, however you guys want to feel, it's your story. I always get told production, production, production. Now some of them will blame production just to be a scapegoat, but some of it is somewhat production. I get it, it's a show, but it's just
Yeah.
like, you know, MTV is not gonna want to work with, you know, people that you're gonna edit in and get involved in other people's drama to make it crazy just to get shows for a higher viewer. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
lot of shows do that nowadays, but certain shows don't really go for that. MTV's one of them
As
sometimes.
I said, it's all about the cloud, and then that's why I was hesitant to do the show in the beginning because I'm not going to act a fool, act nasty. I'm like, I always tell my friends, if you want to have a ghetto mentality, a ghetto behavior, keep it over that side. Don't bring it over here. Like at the end of the day, not saying I don't have my ghetto manner, my ghetto mentality. Like bring it out, I can get really ratchet, but in reality, that's just not me. You understand? I was grew up in a very, besides me, grew up in a very poor household. Like it was very humble, and because of how I was grown, and I would not change it for the world. If I should do it over again, I will, because it teach me to really appreciate every single thing in life. Because everything, like as quick as it comes, as quick as it can go. So I'm like, at the end of the
Right.
day, it is what it is.
Right. And I love that you're so humble. A lot of people may I don't see people complaining about you at all, even in the comments, but some people would say like, "Oh, he's too bougie," and this, and I'm like, I like the ones that are bougie. Like, give them a chance. Why would you want the ones that are just like rowdy and, like,
The bougie one, best one. Bronson, as I said, people look at Bronson and like, oh, he's so bougie. I can keep. I
I
love Bronson
like
because he's
Bronson.
bougie.
I like
Because
all
he's
of
bougie.
you.
I love Bronson, and the work with Bronson was a breeze, 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 like breeze. There was a people thought there was issue on set, but there was no issue on set. So people saw me talking to the model, and they thought I was being rude to the model. I was not being rude to the model. I was saying to her, in reality, when you're on set, sometimes they'll have like a monitor here where you can see. Depends if it's shooting like say ecom, for example. Going shooting ecom, most set they have like a little monitor where you can see yourself as you're shooting. But in reality, you don't want to see yourself. Like, is the only person going to see is the producers or the director or the client. They're the one going to prove. You stay in that position and you don't move until they say, okay, change or touch ups or whatever the case may be. I was telling the model that. People said I was being nice towards the model. I'm like, okay, if that's what you got from me educating her, then by all means. But I had to shut the set down because at one point there was too much people directing. I'm like, there was, I was like, first of all, most people are not supposed to be here. So be happy that Bronson allowed you guys to come on set and see what was happening. So I just shut the set down. I was like, the only direction should be coming from anybody in the room is me, Bronson, and the photographer. Nobody else. So everybody who want to be a director, if you were a director or was at a place where you could direct or whatever, Bronson will book you and not me. And I would be over there in the sofa if I was invited and said, watching. So because you were invited to watch, shut up and watch. You don't direct. That's not your job. So I had to like shut the set down because of that issue.
Mm. I forgot all about that scene. My apologies for skipping over that because I was just more focused on you, and I felt like that scene was kind of more so of Bronson. But I forgot that you were in there. So my apologies. I'm actually glad that we
No,
brought
no.
that. Someone in the comments had asked, "What was the most difficult brand you've ever worked for?"
Um. I'd never have a difficult. I won't say difficult. I don't have a difficult brand I've worked with so far that I can think of. Uncomfortable. I would say I did like a skincare commercial, with someone. But the reason I was uncomfortable because I never done it before, like in a bed with a man shooting like a whole commercial. So it was a bit uncomfortable for me because I had to play the gay lover with my husband. So it was like interracial relationship. So we're in bed rubbing hands and everything. I'm like, oh my god, my mom is going to see this. Like my mom never seen me with a man before. So that was where it was uncomfortable for me. But in reality, I never had any. Oh, what happened? I'm
Can you
sorry,
hear?
somebody was calling me. Can you see me? Okay, I'm back.
I can see you now.
But in reality, I never had any issue where it was uncomfortable and said.
Okay, okay. Um, so what is the future looking like for you?
Like,
Like
why
what,
can't I hear you? Where did the song go?
huh? Can you hear me?
Where I can't hear you. I can see your lip moving, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Right, let me drop down and come back up because I am not hearing you.
Okay, because I can hear you perfectly. Okay. Sorry, everybody. We're having technical difficulties real quick. We'll be right back with him in a second. While we're waiting for him to come back up, can you guys drop some crowns and just make sure you share this live, please? That would mean much if you guys did that. Drop some crowns and share some. Drop some likes and share this live, please. Do you guys like Xavier? I didn't even think I knew that man was professional, but goddamn, he's been around. Because I really like people that actually, yeah, please drop some crowns. Because I actually like people that actually keep their business low key and don't boast about it. So we're just waiting for Xavier to come back up. He's just fixing some technical difficulties. I'm going to ask him probably like a couple questions, and then we're just going to wrap that up. But thank you guys for tuning in. We're still waiting on Xavier.
Okay, on period. Yes, this interview is going well. We're just waiting for Xavier backstage, and he is here. Let me go. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So what's in the future for Xavier? Will we see you back on season 2 of The Heights?
Somebody asked me that question yesterday, and I'm debating, to be honest with you, just because what I signed up for did it happened, but then it went left. I can't control what happened because at the end of the day, people are always going to be people. But I'm still thinking about it, to be honest. Is a possibility? Yes, but I'm still thinking.
Okay, so on TTB he broke the news that there are shows coming to New York. There's already shows like The Come Up New York, and I think that's the only show that I know of so far in New York City. We just got word that there's G Status is branching out to different cities, LA, Houston, and New York City. Would you do G Status New York City if
I would
asked
see
or
what
with
the show is about
permission?
first. If asked, I would have to see what the show is about. Because as I said, I'm not gonna go be on a show where it's consistent toxic, like it's just toxic. I can't. I'm not gonna be on a show that I don't. And not saying that's what the show is about. Because I said I never watched the show before. I don't know about the show. The only thing I scanned through was the come up at Atlanta, and it was just because I want to see certain stuff. But if they approach me, I would have to like really watch the show and see what the show is about before I can make a decision. Because in the end of the day, they're building a brand, so says am I. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Is there anything else that you want to say? Let us know, like what's going on in the future with you.
In the future, honestly, I don't know just yet. Because at the end of the day, because the fashion industry is a fashion industry. When you book your book, so I can't really say for sure. And and in reality, like people won't get to see all of my work because, as I said, I can't bring production of me on set. So I have to like create my scene. Even though my scene is not a fake scene, but I have to create a scene like me working. It's actually me working like for magazines, like for pictures and for Vogue Italia. But at the end of the day, I can't bring production of me when I'm actually working.
My, my, my. Okay. Well, Xavier, it has been so good talking to you. You're like a stress reliever. And I love everybody I've interviewed here actually, but this conversation was really up my alley because I like fashion, you do fashion, I'm actually glad that I got you up here because we know a lot more about you. I kind of had a feeling you've been around in the industry working with some people, but I felt like you've been keeping it to yourself. I'm like, I want to ask some questions and bring it out of him because ain't no way anybody that damn professional on a free web reality show.
I wasn't really keeping to myself. As you mentioned earlier, like the people who used to don't talk about their resume, are the people you need to really look out for.
Yeah,
The ones I stay away from.
a lot of people all that we have up here have been doing some big things, and I'm glad that the whole point of these interviews is for you guys to just get out who you are, your experiences on the show. I asked everybody how they felt, what they would do different. I asked about their afterlife of the show. Would they go back? What's in the future? Your businesses. It's all about you. Whether you want to curse, throw something, or just keep it classy and bougie, So,
Mm.
but
I must say though, as you mentioned business, because I also teach runway classes. Because everybody keep asking me,
you teach what
um,
classes?
runway class. So I teach guys and girls how to literally walk, a runway. Because I one thing I hate is when I see model come towards me and they're like, "Oh, let me walk for you and see if you can book me for something." And then when they walk, I'm like, "Who teach you?" And they're like, "Oh, I paid this guy $2,000 and he teach me." I'm like, "Honey,
What?
what?" As a one thing I don't like, if someone is teaching us to walk a runway, don't teach that person to walk like you, because you are you, they are they. So I always tell people when they're going to somebody who's going to teach you to do runway classes or whatnot, if they're teaching to walk like them, then leave, because they were able to walk the way how they walk and make it. You got to walk a specific way and make it in a different way. You understand? Because your walk and make it two different walk. It is going to be like an all American runway, like very sturdy, very strong, very straight face, very fierce. But end of the day, is there's going to be different steps. But yes, I do have my runway class. I'm planning to do one again in the summer because I want to do it twice a year, but I do it once a year. I did it last year, and then but people keep asking me if I can do it again. I'm like, yeah, next year. So I do it every once a year. So when it comes on to like near to September Fashion Week, you're ready to go into Fashion Week. The only reason I keep it once a year is because by the time September Fashion Week is over, is February, and then you have February Fashion Week. So it's too close. So I space it out. So once February is over, within the summertime, I have the runway classes. I post it on my page. People can always go see it and sign up. But I'm always doing limited space because of COVID. There's still regulations and such. So I can't do a whole huge class. And I'm happy because then you would get to learn more. Because you have that one-on-one with me and my team.
That's great. How much is your prices for classes, if you don't mind
Oh,
me?
it's very cheap. It doesn't pass $50. It's very
Oh,
cheap.
yeah, I'm definitely going.
Yeah, it's very cheap. I tell people like at the end of the day, we all trying to make money, yes. But why am I going to charge you $1,000 to? Like, come on, like yeah.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna definitely have to inbox. We're definitely gonna have to talk about that because I actually went for an audition for a modeling that was gonna happen in New York City. It was like a Wizard of Oz type of runway, and I remember I was walking, and I previously have done modeling before, especially when I was a kid. One of the directors was telling me like, "Oh no, try to walk like this. When you walk like this, because they wanted us to do it the first time our own way." And then how
Mhm.
you really do it. So they were very pleased with how I did it the first time. But the second time they was like, that's good, but then he gave me a few pointers and then I nailed it the second time. And I actually got the part.
Yeah,
Um
the thing is, different designers or different brands, they make you do different walks. So the walk they do all the time isn't going to be the straight run back and forward. They may want you to do some gimmick, some walk like you're drunk, like that guy in that model back in the day when he was walking runway drunk and all. So they ask us crazy stuff just to bring that buzz. But yeah, definitely, yeah.
yeah, so I'll definitely yeah, you're gonna have to let me know when because I actually lived in Albany. I'm 2 hours from the city, so I'm very close by. So I'll
Okay.
definitely have to inbox you and see what's going on with that because I definitely am gonna show up to that, and I'm definitely gonna try to get into Fashion Week if it's happening this year. Does it Fashion Week?
It is happening, is coming back, and which is so funny. A few of my models who came to the runway class we the person who I partner when I partner what I work with as an agency, as an agent I should say, we signed that model and she got booked for running and she's in Harper's Bazaar, Vogue Italia, Vogue Mexico. I'm like, she made me like I was watching the show, I was like just seeing her walk down that runway. Like I was a proud agent and a proud teacher
And you're an
because
agent.
yeah, so I don't always tell people that because in the day you tell your people you're I'm not a big agent, I'm a mini agent, but I do have like a few brands like I've booked for Hotel Four Seasons, now I have models on hold for Witch Hazel. I had models on hold for Puma, ASOS. So it's like I do have if I can book it for myself, I'm gonna submit other people to try to book it because hey, if I can make money from you, then why not make money? But I don't always tell people because in a day it's not just up to me as individual, is a team of us. So even if you send me your stuff, if the team says no, the team says no. And I have to respect the team because it is not just on me. It's like we're all working together.
You know, I need an agent. I'm not gonna hold you. I actually brand ambassador for a couple of my friends. One has Ordination and one is La World Clothing. It's actually on my page. I do it on TikTok. I do it a little bit differently, trying to keep up with the trend now. It's actually a smart marketing reason. I post some on my reel on Instagram and I post one on my reels on TikTok. I don't post on Facebook because they pick and choose.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if you came across that. Those were all the
I
TikToks
was
I posted.
watching one and honestly I was annoyed. I'm like, why is he doing the video like this? Like he's just sitting there not doing nothing and it's like I was really annoyed. I was literally cursing you all to do better. Like honest to God. I was cursing to do better. But I guess that's your way of how you want to do it and it works for you, so I do get it as well.
Yeah, so it's just working from the ground up because I actually thought about it. I was just like, I don't want to keep doing these TikToks. You know, they're getting numbers, but it's just like, at least in my opinions, they're getting numbers, not big numbers, but you get what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to, I actually had my photographer up, but I have to cancel this week because I have to go under some type of surgery. Um, I want to try to actually do it more professionally, like Albany Plaza, nice weather, sun out, actually like you know. So I really want to try to use those pictures and get a portfolio together to send out to so I can start getting booked to model. And
But
then
honestly, don't wait until it gets sunny because most photo shoots happen in winter. Like as you see for the show, the first part, I was doing a whole um like as I guess spring summer wear in the winter, and the models are outside freezing, and they on camera you could not tell it was cold, and you could not tell that they were cold. So don't wait. I would tell people say don't wait if you have the opportunity to do it now, go ahead and do it now. Don't wait
I
if
definitely
you have the opportunity.
take
That's it.
no, I will. I was thinking it was just too cold, and I was a little bit busy during this time of year. But
Mm.
now the weather's getting a little bit nicer, and I'm have a little bit time freed up. I definitely am gonna take it even more seriously. So I'm gonna put the TikToks on hold for now, and I'm gonna try to do it professionally and do it more the right way because I want to get these pictures out and put a portfolio together so I can
Mm.
get booked to do stuff. And then the good thing about it is if I get booked to do stuff and work for brands and stuff, then I can go back and say if I do the TikToks for just all willy nilly, more numbers come in.
But it depends on what market you want to go in. Because if you keep to social media, you will be titled an Instagram model, and they honestly don't want to look at you as a real model in the fashion world.
Mhm.
If you have clout behind your name, that's a different story. They will always use it for the clout because not all of their market, not everyone on their market is on your market. So when you have clout, they're trying to bring you in to try and get some other people from your market to come over. But it's not good to be branded as a social media model. That you don't want to get branded as. But I know what you're saying about create a buzz on whatever the case may be on TikTok and Instagram. But if something you want to take seriously, you have to take it seriously and not just on social media. Um, what I do have a good following on social media, yes. But my friend was asked, why do you hit the likes? I'm not saying I have great likes, like over 2,000 and 1,000 something. But I hit it. Why? Because my thing is, I'm doing it for the love and not for the like. When you start doing it for the like for Instagram, then it become an Instagram thing. When you're doing it because you like to doing it, then you don't care about your numbers. You do it because it's something you passionate or you love or it's a dream, and it makes you go for it more. In my own head and terminology and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I honestly I like doing it just for me. I don't really care for the numbers. But I definitely want to take it up a notch. But that's why I just said, all right. I already did the TikTok thing. That phase is kind of being over, so I want to do something more different, a little bit more professional with these clothings that I have. So yeah.
But as a depends on I'm gonna one more tip I'm gonna give you. I'm not sure the clothing you're talking about is one that the same ones that I see you post on TikTok. Those are great for like ready to wear, urban wear, or sportswear. But in reality, if that's what your portfolio has to be a variety. It has to be very editorial. There has to be some dramatic pieces, some huge makeup. Whether you straight gear by nobody cares. You're a model, and if you want to put some eyeshadow on your face and lipstick on your lips, that's what you book the job. That's what you want the money. So that's what we want you to do for us. So you got to think out of the box, not just ordinary.
Right.
So I'm gonna say there's no more tip. I'm sorry, no more tip. I don't see no cash app.
No, it's fine. We could talk more about that in the DMs and stuff because I definitely would like to keep that conversation going. But is there anything else that you would like to say for the audience because they actually love you in here? You're getting a lot of love.
If anyone have any question, I will answer. But I was trying to look at it on my phone as we're talking. But at the end of the day, and if you want, I would say people, if you want to go do something, go do it. Like if I listen to people, I would not be where I'm at today. Whether it's doing modeling or being in this country. If you want to do something, go ahead and do it, and then just be mindful of how you do it because you don't want to step on people's toe. Um, Networking is key. Not using people, but networking with people because people
I
miss
always go by that. Don't use people in networking. Build a
people.
relationship because everybody's using somebody just to get some clout and some followers. I don't care about that because what is the clout and the followers going to do? How is that paying your bills? I want checks. The
Exactly.
followers you see on that I have, that's what I want in my check every week.
Trust me. At the end of the day, I was the people like go for it. Don't networking is key, and you don't. It doesn't take a skill to network with anybody. It just take for you having a conversation with someone. Try not to use people. Try not to take everybody seriously. Because at the end of the day, we're in the United States, meaning we're very different. People from all over the world come here. So the way how what you're used to in your country may not be what they're used to in their country. So we can't take it personal. I always tell if somebody says something to you that you don't understand, ask what do you mean. Don't take it personal and try to run with it. Not everybody's your friend. Not everybody wants to be your friend. You understand? So you just gotta like learn and just keep it pushing and keep it moving. And I must say this: the higher you go, whether it's in music, acting, modeling, it doesn't matter whatever career field you're in. The higher you go, the the shorter your friend group is going to be. Don't feel no way about it. Success comes with sacrifices, and that's saying you sacrifice your friend, but because you are being successful, people don't like it, and because people don't like it, they're going to drop back, and the ones who like it is going to be there with you.
You know what? I'm gonna say something real quick to that. The past 3 years, I tried to do a fraternity, that didn't work. I tried to do this, that didn't work. I was always singled out, shut out. I'm like, why? What is people? Nobody would show up for my birthdays. And I'm just like, a couple people did, but nobody would show up. I'm like, why is it that I'm going out my way for these people, but they don't? And then it's like, I'm doing music. I'm not famous out there. I songwrite. I do these TikToks. I bring them best in my own way. I got my modeling pictures up there. I'm inspiring model, correct term. Um, so you know, I I getting all these blessings, or at least just trying to get there. And if I just keep the focus, keep going, and it'll change for me. But as I feel like I'm going into my path and I'm just waiting and just accelerating, it seems like the people that was there is not there no more. And even when I meet new people who kind of are just more of for social media low key, but they think they're above and beyond that, and they like to speak big shit. Excuse my language, but it's like so when you say that, it's just like I always remember that like you didn't get the fraternity because you're going somewhere else. You're not in this group because you're going somewhere else. You didn't do this because you're going somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I'll always carry that with me. Um, so
Yeah,
I'm glad that you said that because that also just reminds me to just keep going.
yeah. As I said, I tell people like it's so funny for before I move, and people, as I say, it's all about how bad you want it. I'm always saying to people, I never stay for my spot. That's one thing I can knock on wood and say I've never slept for my spot. I work for it, and I work smart, and I always push for myself. Even though I'm signed with an agency, my work doesn't stop there because at the end of the day, my agency has 100 more models to manage as well besides myself. So you got to still push for yourself and still trying to find revenues. Um, the few people who I met moving to this country and who was in the game already, that no shade that I surpassed, are no longer my friends because at the end of the day, they've I'm not saying I'm this is what they're thinking, but this is what I assume they're thinking. But the fact that like they've been doing this before I got here, and I got here and I'm here and they're still there. So I just like let me I have to cut ties with some people. So my friend group is very small. So if I meet someone outside and call me their friend, my friend is my real friend is beside me, they know for sure that's not my friend because all my friends know each other. They're not all friends, but they all know each other because of me. I'm like, just in case anything happen, these are my point of contact. So I always say just be mindful what you do. Just be humble. Don't be cocky. Cocky doesn't pay. Humble will take you straight through.
Oh, please tell that again for the people in the back, because people swear you. And real quick before we go,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like there's a lot of kiss ass? Can kiss ass get you far? Because I feel like there's a lot of people that fake it and kiss ass, and they feel like that'll get them a seat at the table, and then they really don't. Because I feel like even me being a not fitting into other stuff that's really not meant for what I do right now. I just don't. I'm not a follower. It's just like I don't. I'm not gonna kiss your ass. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna be me and I'm gonna be humbled, and I know how to play my position. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like a lot of people just be thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna kiss this ass just to get what I do," and it should, and then it don't even work out for them.
I'm going to say this to you what my grandma said to me, my teachers said to me, well, not just, but in general, kiss ass will take you so far and no more. It may take you to the door, but it may not take you inside the door. You understand? Being real with people, we will get you invited to the table, to the wedding, to the dinner, to whatever the case may be. I get where I'm at because I've never kissed anybody ass and I don't believe in kissing nobody ass. You understand? My grandma, they will sometimes say you gotta kiss ass before you can kick it. I'm kicking your ass. I don't give a damn if I'm kicking it. I ain't gonna kiss your ass before I can kick it. I'm kicking it. Because at the end of the day, me kissing your ass, what is it gonna do for me? What is it doing for you? You understand? I would say people, just be you. Just be you. Because I'm not gonna speak for myself, I can't speak for nobody else. Because of me being who I am, get me to where I'm at. People sometimes say, "Oh, change your accent, speak more American, or don't be so blunt."
Oh,
But because
please.
but because of my accent, because of me, my bluntness got me where I'm at. And also, people want to be around me or be friends or whatever the case may be, and people want to work with me. You understand? As I said, the person who I work with, which I won't call his name, he worked with Rihanna Drake. He's a huge producer. I'm creative director, and for the fact that I was on set. It was me and two other girls. We were on set, and the guy stopped shooting just to come talk with us. Nothing related to the shoot, just to come because of how we were, like off camera. Because on camera we're acting. Off camera, he was like, "I just want to talk to you guys. Like you guys just be you. When you start being somebody else, you lose yourself. You don't know who you are anymore, and you just lost your way. Okay, you're being somebody you're not. Fake doesn't pay bills. Okay, you can't go to the bank with a fake check to cash it. It may cash, but as soon as you know you're fake, you're in trouble. Just be genuine and real."
Because some people feel like even when you go on these reality shows and when you be real and you try to talk to production, be like, hey, and then next thing you know, you're being blackballed and all this other stuff, and nobody wants to be blackballed. So that's why I asked you that question. Since you're in the industry, I'm just like, especially advice handed down to me and other people who want to be in this industry or who halfway are. So it's just like, it's difficult because it's like, why should I have to kiss your ass just so I can eat? You get what I'm
No,
saying?
speak up. As a Target is one of my biggest client currently, and whenever I shoot with Target, even before I develop a relationship with these people on set, is like when they ask, I'm like, I was very upfront. They're like, how does the makeup look? How do you feel in the clothes? Be honest. If the clothes doesn't fit right, say no, it doesn't fit right. Like hair's a bit loose, so they can fix it. don't say no, you're good. But as soon as they turn the camera, your pants drop or the shirt fell off your shoulder, whatever. Speak up, but do it in a respectful way, not without being disrespectful or should come at anybody. So yeah.
Wow. I'm definitely taking it. This is learning class for me at this point. Yeah.
But yeah,
So
so that's all I have to say. I don't know if that helped you or anybody who's watching
it
this
definitely did.
live.
It
Um,
definitely did.
I was happy to be here talking about the show myself as well. I appreciate the invitation and everything.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm
I
great.
started getting to meet King because he seemed like a whole ball of fire based on what I watched. I was going through and watching certain stuff. He seemed like it's a whole ball of fire, but things happen.
Oh, I love King. He was on Chasing LA, and I remember when I first seen him, he was very. He's not a comedian, but he's just himself. And
Mm.
one thing about him, we can joke and laugh all day long, but the minute you cross him, he will check the fuck out you. And he was always himself. He's another one that I learned from too. He was always himself. He never boasts about what he had, even though they filmed in the middle of a pandemic on his
That,
show.
well,
He was working. Like he has commercials, he has it on this show, so he's another one, him and a couple other people. Yeah, but King is definitely a great person. I really
well,
wish he was up here with us.
well, no, there's always next time. I'm always happy to always come back about something else. Doesn't matter. You guys are awesome. You guys just keep doing what you guys are doing. For the comments, I see you guys in the comments. I appreciate everybody in the comments. I didn't get to go through because I don't want to be rude to the moderator. But thank you everyone. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Xavier, it was a pleasure having you.
It was
I
my
will
honor.
stay in touch, and please take care of yourself. I'll
No
stay in
problem.
touch, and thank you so much for the time that you've given us
No
here.
problem. Thank you guys. Enjoy and have a good night.
You too.
All right. Bye bye.